Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. I have a new, just like an update video of some things that are getting done on the Mercedes. Kind of go through them with you, show you guys some of the kind of like the mod list that I have done to the car right now to get it to where the dyno numbers showed. So we can kind of just look over here at the car real quick, and I'll show you guys exactly what I did and kind of go through things a little bit. So turn it around here. So yes, the supercharger is now rebuilt. I rebuilt that myself. It wasn't very. It was pretty simple. Just kind of, if I didn't have to rush so much before just a couple of days before the dyno, it would have been a lot more enjoyable to do. But yeah, so I had the dyno coming up, and I just kind of wanted to get everything done at this point. So we did it. I got it all done. Yeah, so far, with the rebuilt supercharger, kind of aside from the upgrades, it's kind of a maintenance thing at this point. But I went ahead. So the mod list, I should say, we have a 82 millimeter throttle body with a I think it's a 70, I believe it's a 72 or 74 millimeter, the stock throttle body size. So there's an adapter from the original size to the 82 millimeter. So I have that as well with it, using the same pigtail, the wire for it. I do have, since as you can tell, I have zip ties holding mine in because off of the original one, they pretty much glue them up and you can't like get them off at all without having like to break it off around it, and you kind of break some of the cable itself. But buying those cables, it's not really worth $100 to me, is what I was buying them for. So I'm not spending $100 for that when I can just use a zip tie to do that. So that's on me. I don't mind that being there. It holds perfectly fine. But yeah, we got the throttle body. It has thing moving forward to the I guess we go to the fuel rail itself. As you know, yeah, I got the E55 E-Flex kit. Here's the ECU part of it. I have it routed through. Right there is the flex sensor. This is part of the main hose that comes out, which I did have to modify that. Let me turn this light on here. So I did have to modify this backing here. It comes with a few different, I guess, ends for like barbed fittings to go from like the original one. I tried redoing my original one, which I have it right here. It's thrown on the ground, but so right here is what I tried to do with my original hose, so I didn't have to really ruin it, because this was nice kind of having on there, just because, you know, keeping it away from the heat was nice having the braided line. But I brazed this, the part to it, but it ended up still seeping through there somehow. I don't know, but it didn't really work, so I just had to go ahead, and they had a fitting on here. I just used that instead, and then just goes to a soft line to the E-Flex sensor. There's like a quick disconnect to it. On the other side, it goes to the rail itself. So that's the way I routed that. Now we're moving to the fuel injectors themselves. I switched quite a few times. I am now at 750cc injectors. I have yet to I guess see what the duty cycle is at wide open throttle. So that's still something I have to do and check out, but they seem to be working just fine. And then I have the looped rail going around with it. I used -6 AN fittings on the rail, and then I had two, as you can see down here, I have two extenders. They're about an inch each, I think an inch or inch and a half each of extensions from that to bring this out, because I didn't route it underneath the supercharger. I kind of went around. Maybe later on I might try to fish it underneath and just kind of get this out of the way, but I kind of like it. It looks kind of cool. But yeah, I used two of those -6 just extenders, and then a 90, and then my braided line just to an actual 90. because this end is a little bit different, sticks out a little bit further than this side. But I did have to cut off all of the those little fittings in the bleed valve and the like the pressure tester, so I had to do that. But that's how I routed all this, guys. And then as you can see down in here, there's one VRP block off plate, and there's the second one. This is for the secondary, I can't remember the name of it now. Secondary or the air injection system, I should say. It's just a delete for those. I do have those. Those are up there. I can zoom in. That's what those were. But yeah, those are those. Those where those went. And then you had a couple hoses that would go off to it, right to there. One on each side. But deleted those, no longer need them. So that was that. Now we can go to the clutch delete kit, which I did. I kind of messed my whole thing up. I just yanked the whole dang thing off. Wasn't keeping it anyway. Don't want it anymore. It's stupid for me to have that kind of stuff. It's just, to me, it's not really a good. The clutch pulleys just kind of, they're just iffy with me anyway, because I don't like them. Just kind of pointless about them. But I guess if you're really picky on, I guess, streetability, but there's really no difference going from a fixed pulley to a clutch pulley. There's really nothing. You just get the supercharger stays on 24/7 rather than just being off at idle and stuff like that, and the car just being quieter. Yeah, you get some more heat out of the supercharger, but it's going to get hot either way. But other than that, this is the 68mm pulley. I originally went from the stock one to a 74mm standard fixed pulley. Then I went to a 74mm clutch delete pulley, and now I dropped it to the 68mm pulley, which is, this again is the smallest one VRP offers. Shout out to them. They got all this stuff to me pretty dang on fast, and I appreciate that. This is one of VRP's tensioner pulleys, the aluminum ones. I'm still running the stock double idler pulley. I have had zero issues with those, so I'm just going to keep running that. And then I have the belt wrap kit. This is AMG on it. And then back here is the other pulley. It grabs a lot of this belt, which is pretty awesome. I like that. I still might go to a better tensioner from VRP. Still might go with that 25-pound GT500 belt tensioner kit. Might do that still. Help, because there was a little bit of slipping I just heard the other day with that. But other than that, that's all the pulley stuff that I've done. Then we can move over to, I did the catch can, or the air oil separator, which I have down back into here. Both my lines tee off to right here, or down right here, and then they both join in. And then you got one out. I just have routed back through here and back into the original spot where it used to be. It's working very well now. I actually really like it. Works very nice. No issues with anything with that now. So I recommend that one. I did get that to Speed Wow, I guess. It's just kind of like a cheaper one. I got it on Amazon, I believe. But it has the kind of like the same kind of material that it goes through. It's nice. If I find the link and stuff, I'll put it in the description. But yeah, guys, other than that, I really haven't done all like a crazy mod list. These are kind of just bolt-ons. I did run a different set of plugs. They're a step colder. But other than that, they're new coil packs, new wires, both front new O2 sensors. We got all that going on here. I just put this on because on the dyno we had a rupture in it. I'm not sure why or how it happened, but it seemed like it split somewhere right along this seam where they joined together, and it was leaking out of there. So we had some coolant on the dyno, But other than that, this is a brand new one now. It wasn't too bad. It was like 50 bucks, 50, 60 bucks with a brand new cap. So far, so good. Everything works as it should now. I was just bleeding the system, letting it siphon around. And then, of course, we got, our 888Rs, which are working pretty good now with this car. And I have one new mod that I have coming on the way. So I will show you guys a tutorial on it, and that is the Airmatic suspension delete. I have a delete kit coming from I bought it on eBay. It's from Arnott, I believe. They have the front struts, like the whole airbag kits. They're a good reputable company. With them, they sell a delete kit for the E55. So I went ahead and I found a really good deal on it. So I snagged it up quick, and because on our way back from the dyno, turn this camera around on me now. On our way back from the dyno, it did have a Visic workshop for the air ride. And of course, I knew it was going to happen eventually. So I believe the pump itself, the air pump, is now, it's kind of wearing out. It's starting to give way. So it's struggling keeping the rear inflated. Now, kind of sucks, but I knew it was going to happen. I didn't want to replace all the air ride when I just wanted to go to coilovers or some kind of coil suspension. Instead, just to delete the whole thing. So I found a good kit for very cheap, and a good kit for cheap, I should say, because it was used, but is in very good condition. So it deletes all of it, front and back. It doesn't come with the electronic bypass for the Airmatic to like trick the system, but I figure you can go and get that coded out with Star. So I do have a guy from Garrett's Automotive, I guess it is. I forget. I have to get the name correctly again. Or a Garrett's German Auto Repair, I should say. That's what it is. So he's a good guy. He works on Mercedes like specifically. So I go to him if I need some extra help. So we figured out kind of the procedure with that. They have a bunch of, I guess, online, like how to step by step how to do it through Star. So I found a few that they look good. It looks promising to code it out completely just using Star instead of using their kind of like piggyback system. Because I actually tried contacting Arnott themselves, and they are refusing to sell me one. Just that EBM, I think is what they call it, but they're refusing to send me it because I didn't buy the kit directly from them. So it was kind of disappointing trying to get something that's for this kit just because I bought it somewhere else. They won't sell me one, so I don't understand why it's a big deal, but apparently it is. So we're gonna forget them completely because that's kind of useless to me at that point. But other than that, yeah, that's gonna be it. I can't wait to delete the kit or the Airmatic finally, and make this car actually very reliable. I'm looking forward to that. Then I won't be afraid of it actually going out while I'm traveling, or if I decide to take it anywhere, since now everything's pretty much rebuilt at this point. Yeah, we got the front end, all the hubs, the hub assemblies, the bearings, the brakes, the calipers. Everything's been kind of refreshed. All the fluid's been changed out. We have new brake hoses on everything. We have new upper lower ball joints. We have the thrust arms, the power, the tie rod ends. Everything that you can imagine in the front has been done. The only thing turn this back around here. The only thing I think I'm going to have to redo would be this transmission cooler that I put in here. So as you can tell there, it's getting a little bit of oil on it. So I don't know if the oil's starting to seep out just a smidgle, but I'm gonna have to do something with that again. I like having this little intercooler here, but also I would like to go to the VRP secondary heat exchanger to put in there, because the box in the back, the ice tank, does work good, but after driving in this hot weather, it does get pretty hot really fast. So I'm trying to figure out a way that can cool it down a little bit. I might go with a bigger tank in the back, but other than that, it's not a whole lot I can do at the moment. But yeah, guys, I keep kind of dragging on here, but just kind of going through everything to get where I'm at now. And again, if you guys haven't seen that video, the car did put down, the final result was 542 wheel horsepower and 850 wheel torque. That dyno was off by 50 horsepower and 50 torque lower than what it should have shown. So, I mean, just going off those numbers, they're pretty good, but from Race IQ, he was pretty much spot on with the horsepower, be around that 590 to the wheels, which would make sense. So did that. So we got. I'm okay with that right now. I will have to do a a bigger crank pulley. If I want more power out of this car, I need to go to a bigger crank pulley. So I might go to like a 180. So if you go to 180 and a 68mm pulley, you can get around 19-20 pounds of boost, which will be more than enough. So I put down 11 pounds of boost with this setup as it is. And we have the long tube headers pretty much out clear to the back. They're everything straight except for the resonator. The stock resonator still I put back in there just to get rid of some of the droney sound. But other than that, guys, it's pretty much free flowing at the point. That's pretty much why it was kind of on the lower side. But that's a good thing though, because it means I can add more boost and get more power out of it. And running E85 helps tremendously. Yeah, the Anthony Lashi from Race IQ, he did a really good job on the dyno tuning. He pretty much told me he threw a lot of timing, a lot of extra timing in this car because I was able to run E85. So I can get way more out of this than you would on just regular 93. So he instructed me to only run E85 from now on because of how much timing he put into this car. So I'm going to stick with that. I can still go to do some methanol injection. I may end up doing that. I know VRP has a plate that can go into here and just have one injector just blowing into the supercharger, which I'm fine with that. That would just kind of help things out a little bit more of just keeping things cooler. So I might do that still, and I can go to a smaller or a bigger crank pulley and get even more. So hopefully we can get around that 700 horsepower mark, which we most likely would be able to with that setup. But from right now, guys, this is a pretty solid, reliable setup at this point right now. I can always go to a bigger throttle body, you can get so many different ones now, but 82mm was kind of on the smaller side of it, but it may go up to like a 92mm and kind of give everything more flow. And I have the VRP block off plate inside the supercharger because there is a bypass valve, like a throttle body, that's inside the supercharger. So if you look in from your intake from that throttle body and look straight down, you'll see it. And that kind of like bypasses air, which means you don't want that. So that block off plate blocks it off, and you can get all the more air flowing into the engine rather than it just kind of circulating. So good for power. So far things running great, guys. Kind of just going through kind of the stuff that I've done to it. So if you guys are looking for like this type of setup in that power range, right here it is. Everything is kind of done to be reliable. I'm not just throwing just power, but you got to make sure you have the proper fueling and the proper cooling. I mean, as long as you're not going to beat the living crap out of this car, which I'm not. I mean, it's kind of like a couple pulls here and there, kind of drive it around type of stuff, but I just wanted to have a fun car, and now this kind of did it for me. The only things I can do now at this point would be to paint these up, paint the valve covers, and do more new gaskets on them. But other than that, guys, it's going to be good for now. As soon as I get this video out with the new suspension and stuff, this car is going to be so nice to drive. and then I can get some more driving videos to show you guys what the results are like. So I hope you guys like it. Sorry to draw this video out for 20 minutes now, but hey, this is all the stuff I've done to it. Thanks for watching, everybody, all the support. I love it. Thank you all for all the comments, and yeah, keep subscribed and like the videos, and I will get some more out soon. All right, guys, catch you on the next one.